And welcome back to the Friday Night Locker Room. I'm Steve Wilson tonight, coming to you live from the McKnight Family Sports Complex in Rockledge. It's the Port St. John All-Stars versus the Rockledge All-Stars. Major Division girls, the winner advances to section play. 2 weeks from tomorrow, the loser, unfortunately, their season will come to an end. This lightning delay is just about gotten behind us. Let's see. Let's see if I can count. About almost a 30-minute delay. Looks much, much better than it did a half hour ago. We'll reset the scene for you. Port St. John's currently on top of Rockledge by a score of 2-0. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Aaliyah Dunleavy, wearing number 99, is about set to step into the batter's box. She'll be looking at a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Port St. John with runners on first and second. Tiana Davis standing on second base. Kyla Williams standing on first base. First pitch, foul tip. Once again, Brianna Snyder in the circle for Rockledge doing the catching. Number 25, Autumn Charvet. 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Ground ball foul down the first base side. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Aaliyah Dunleavy. Only 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. That was a pop-up by Savannah Ogletree. Cambry Haynes scored the first Port St. John run. Haley Butler scored run number 2. Nice job by Dunleavy laying off that high pitch. Evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paris Bowes on deck for the Port St. John All-Stars. Just gets a piece of that one, does Dunleavy. Count remains 2-2. Nice little breeze blowing. Take away the lightning, and it's far enough away now that it's not going to cause an impact on this game, but the wind has really kicked up. Another foul ball out of play. This one over the bleachers on the first base side. So Tiana Davis will trot back to second base. Kyla Williams will trot back to first base. Line drive to right field, base hit. Scoring easily from second base is the third Port St. John run of this half inning. That's Tiana Davis crossing home plate. Port St. John up 3-0. With runners on first and second, still 1 out. Credit Aaliyah Dunleavy with an RBI single to right field. That'll bring up left fielder number 21, Paris Bowes. Bowes, as we hope you can see, hitting from the right side. Here is the pitch, just a little high by Brianna Snyder. Snyder in the circle for the Rockledge All-Stars. Here's the pitch. Hits Bowes on the back, and that'll load him up for the Port St. John All-Stars. That'll bring up lucky number 13, first baseman for the Port St. John All-Stars, Morgan Thompson. Kyla Williams on third base, Aaliyah Dunleavy on second, Paris Bowes on first. Rockledge down 3-0, swing and a miss, strike 1. Thompson, the number 8 batter in the lineup. Here is the pitch by Snyder. Just a little low. Nice stop by catcher Autumn Charvet. Probably kept a run from scoring on that snag. Thompson steps back into the box. Here is the pitch. Just gets a piece of it, fouls straight back. Bases full of Port St. John All-Stars. Rockledge down 3-0. We are in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch by Snyder. Ground ball foul down the third base side towards the dugout, the visiting dugout of the Rockledge All-Stars. Thompson can do some real damage here. Her squad up 3-0. Bases loaded. Only one out. Nice job by Thompson laying off that high pitch. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Thompson goes on down on strikes for the second out in the inning. And that'll bring up the right fielder for Port St. John, wearing number 7, Haley Randall.
Number 7, Haley Randall, right fielder.
Now Brianna Snyder and the Rockledge All-Stars 1 out away from getting out of this jam. Although they have allowed 3 runs, the bases are full of Port St. John runners. First pitch foul down the first base side, no balls, and 1 strike on Randall. Randall takes a step out, takes a quick glance to her coach in the third base box. Ground ball to second base, fielded cleanly. Record that one as a 4-3 putout. Nice play defensively by Maya Norris of the Rockledge All-Stars. She flips the ball to first baseman Frankie Chapman. So for the Port St. John All-Stars in the bottom of inning number 1, they come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 big runners left. After 1 inning of play tonight, Port St. John 3, Rockledge 0. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac. And speaking of Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac, they are located on the 520 Causeway, Merritt Island. They are an authorized sales and service outlet for new Nissan and Cadillac products, and they carry a line of used trucks and cars. The website, MikeUrbanMotors.com. The telephone, 321-453-2050. We'd also like to thank Beef O'Brady's, State Road 524 in Cocoa. Sean O'Reilly and the whole gang of Beefs have always been big supporters of local sports, and the tie-in with the Friday Night Locker Room is a natural. The menu includes chicken, steak, and fish taco baskets, and of course wings. Thanks to Sean O'Reilly and Beef O'Brady's, State Road 524 in Cocoa. And how about Jim Knutson of Knutson Brain Spine Injury Law Office? Jim's been with us a long time, supporting the Friday Night Locker Room and youth sports in Brevard County. They provide representation for members of the public who have suffered head trauma or brain or spinal cord injury. Knutson Brain Spine Injury Law Office is located in Rockledge at 830 Executive Lane, Suite 140. The phone number for Jim Knutson, 632-2722. That's area code 321-632-2722. Just about set to move to the top of the second inning for the Rockledge All-Stars. It'll be Emily Skews, Brianna O'Connor, and Maya Norris. Your 4, 5, and 6 batter for the Rockledge All-Stars. Well, so far it looks like the weather has turned for the better. Haven't seen any issues lately. Nice little breeze blowing. Good crowd both from Port St. John and from Rockledge, as you would imagine. Rockledge with the blue shirts, black pants, blue socks. Port St. John, red, white, and blue tops, black pants. Although their socks, they have stars on the socks. As Emily Skews is set to step into the batter's box hitting from the right side, this will be her first plate appearance of tonight. We are in the top of the second inning. Port St. John 3, Rockledge nothing. First pitch swing out of play, straight back. Kyla Williams once again in the circle for the Port St. John All-Stars. She struck out the side in the top of the first inning. Brianna O'Connor on deck, Maya Norris in the hole. Pitch by Williams just a little low, evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Skews hitting from the right side. Here's the pitch. Nice pitch at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Emily Skews. Number 35 steps out of the box just for a minute. Now she's back in. She's ready to go. Kyla Williams is ready to go. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Skews goes down on strikes. So Kyla Williams has started this game striking out the first 4 batters she has faced. That'll bring up the Rockledge third baseman, number 9, Brianna O'Connor. O'Connor swings at a high pitch. No balls and 1 strike. Sometimes it's hard to lay off those pitches in the eyes. You feel like you can crush it. That one just a little too far out of the zone. O'Connor steps out, takes a couple of practice swings. Now she's back in the box. She is ready. Late on that fastball. Brianna O'Connor quickly in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. She's going to take her time and relax just a little bit. Quick glance towards her coach at third base, Brianna O'Connor, the number 5 batter for the Rockledge All-Stars. Call strike 3. Williams records her 5th consecutive strikeout. And that'll bring up the second baseman, number 16, Maya Norris. A lot of righties so far for the Rockledge All-Stars. Norris, of course, hitting from the right side. As you can see live on SpaceCoastDaily.com, first pitch, foul straight back. For the longest while, it was all audio, and now technology, the way things are, it's there. Hopefully you're enjoying tonight's live stream broadcast. We have some new equipment on the way, so what you're looking at tonight in just a few short weeks will be even greater. Nice bunt down the third base side, charging, unable to field it cleanly. Credit the speed of Maya Norris, the first Rockledge base runner to reach. It was a nice bunt down the third base side. Third baseman for Port St. John, Tiana Davis, charged it. Had it just for a split second, unable to field it cleanly. So now Rockledge with a runner on first, 2 outs. They're down 3-0. We're in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up the pitcher, number 45, Brianna Snyder. Pitch low, 1 ball and no strikes. We're going to credit Norris with a base hit. I don't know that Davis would have thrown her out. It would have been a bang-bang play. But I think the speed of Norris would have beaten her anyway. That pitch just a little high. Good call by home plate umpire. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitcher versus pitcher here in the top of the second inning. Pitch by Williams. Call strike. Snyder shows bunt, pulls it back. That allows Norris to steal second base. Catcher's indifference. She chose the catcher. Cambry Haynes chose not to make the throw. 2-1 pitch by Williams. Well hit ball to second base. Unable to field it cleanly. Rockledge coach will hold the runner at third base. Probably a wise decision. Bad throw back into the infield is going to allow Snyder to move over to second base. So now Rockledge with runners on second and third, 2 out in the top of the second. 2 quick strikeouts to start the bottom of the second, and Maya Norris and Brianna Snyder have both reached base. And that'll bring up the left fielder, number 5, Jada Lawrence. Lawrence hitting in the number 8 slot. She squares the bunt, bunts it back to the pitcher. Good speed. pulled the first baseman off the bag. Good call by the first baseman. Excellent speed of Jada Lawrence. The Rockledge All-Stars score their first run of the game as Maya Norris crosses home plate. Brianna Snyder at third. Now Jada Lawrence at first base. That'll bring up the Rockledge first baseman, number 17, Frankie Chapman. Another right-handed hitter for the Rockledge All-Stars, Chapman. Swings the bat well. We saw her a couple of nights ago. Pitch low gets past the catcher. Trying to make it home. The call is out. Great defensive play by the catcher from Port St. John, Cambry Haynes. Excellent coverage by Kyla Williams. Called out at home plate as Brianna Snyder trying to score. So that'll do things for the top of the second inning. For the Rockledge All-Stars, they do pick up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left after an inning and a half of play tonight. Port St. John 3, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac on the 520 Causeway. We'd like to thank Planet Fitness, located in Rockledge Plaza at 1802 U.S. Highway 1 in Rockledge. Planet Fitness has a 23,000 square foot facility with fitness equipment and cardio machines. The phone number, 321-433-1331. Website keyword, planetfitness.com. I think I can just about say now it is a beautiful evening in Rockledge. Haven't seen any nasty weather for a while. Things have really calmed down off the field. Looks like we have a ball game on the field. Port St. John picked up 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Rockledge answered with 1 run in the top of the second inning. So it's a 2-run Port St. John lead as we are close to moving to the bottom of inning number 2. We would like to thank Florida Master Temp, located at 3475 North Highway US 1 in Cocoa. Florida Master Temp is an authorized sales and service outlet for air conditioning systems, refrigeration equipment, ice making equipment, and machines. The office phone is answered 24 hours a day. The telephone for Tommy Eberhardt and Florida Master Temp, 321-639-3166. That's area code 321-639-3166. How about Al's Trophy Shop? Al's has been with us for quite a while now, the Friday Night Locker Room. Probably for, if I was guessing, 14 out of the 18 years that we've been on the air. They make plaques and trophies for the Friday Night Locker Room. You know, they have 2 locations in Brevard County, one down in Palm Bay on Palm Bay Road, the other one in Cocoa just north of the beach line. They create custom plaques and trophies. Their phone number, 636-6188. Call Terry or call Dean. Can't call Gina anymore. She's in Gainesville, but call the Al's Trophy Shop. They do outstanding work. Now our pitcher for the Rockledge squad has made it to the circle. She made the last out at home plate, so it took her a few minutes, as did it take for the catcher. When we resume play, Port St. John will be back up to the top of their lineup. Cambry Haynes, Savannah Ogletree, and Haley Butler. They'll give pitcher Brianna Snyder a few warm-up tosses before we start the bottom of the second inning. Home plate umpire says 2 more. You get 2 more tosses, and then we are ready to play ball. Rockledge coming off of a big win 2 nights ago against Mims by a score of 8-7. Port St. John defeated Mims 11-0. So the winner of tonight's contest between Port St. John and Rockledge will represent District 22 and play in sectional softball tournament 2 weeks from tomorrow. Now stepping into the batter's box for the Port St. John All-Stars, wearing number 15, catcher Cambry Haynes.
Number 15 up at the plate.
Haynes reached first base and scored in the first inning. Bunt back to between the catcher and the pitcher. They're not going to get the speedy Cambry Haynes. Nice bunt by Haynes. It went about 6 to 8 feet in front of the catcher, a little bit to the third base side. The pitcher, Brianna Snyder, fielded the ball by the time she got to it. Haynes was almost at first. There was no way she was going to throw her out. So that'll bring up the Port St. John center fielder, number 9, Savannah Ogletree. She's 0 for 1 tonight. She popped out to the pitcher in the first inning, squares to bunt. Misses it, attempting to steal second. Safe at second is Cambry Haynes. Ogletree missed the bunt attempt, so she will be looking at a no balls, 1 strike pitch when Brianna Snyder gets set. Ogletree about ready to get back into the box. Savannah Ogletree. Here's the pitch, just gets a piece of that one. No balls and 2 strikes on the Port St. John center fielder. Ogletree steps out, and now she's back in. She's ready to go, as is Brianna Snyder. Here is the pitch. Tried to get Ogletree to chase a high one. She did not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Port St. John with a runner on second. First base. Looks like it's going to be a bang-bang play. Circling the bases and scoring is Cambry Haynes. They're going to call the batter safe. It was such a close play, and I had the umpire in direct line. It was a one-hopper to the first baseman, unable to field it, really close. Ogletree was safe, and while that was going on, Haynes scored all the way from second base with the 4th Port St. John run of this softball game. That'll bring up the Port St. John second baseman, number 1, Haley Butler. Butler 1 for 1 tonight, had a single. Attempted steal, she is safe. Good speed by Savannah Ogletree. So that'll put a Port St. John runner on second base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Hard hit ball to right field over the head of the right fielder. Ogletree will easily score. Butler's going to round second. She's going to go to third. Coach is going to send her home. The throw home. She will be safe. The tag by Charvet misses Butler, and inside the park. Home run. The ball went over the head of the right fielder. Butler never slowed down. Aggressive base coaching by the third base coach. That must be, somebody just came over and said, that's my friend's daughter, and then she ran the other way. I didn't get a chance to see who it was. Coach for Rockledge is going to call timeout, have a quick visit at home plate. Make sure the home plate umpire made the right call. It looked like it was from here. We did not have the best vantage point, but credit Haley Butler circling the bases, knocking in Savannah Ogletree. She'll have a pair of RBIs. Port St. John now up 6-1. As third baseman, Tiana Davis steps into the batter's box. First pitch by Snyder's high. Davis walked in the first inning. She eventually scored. Pitch by Brianna Snyder. Hard, aggressive swing by Davis. Coach in the third base box got the attention quickly of Tiana Davis. Now she's back in. Here is the pitch. Hard hit ball to shortstop. Unable to field it is the shortstop. Tiana Davis will reach first base. Port St. John with 3 runs in the first inning, 3 runs here in the second. Still nobody out with a runner on first. And that'll bring up the pitcher wearing number 2, Kyla Williams. Williams 1 for 1 tonight. She had a base hit in the first inning. Reached as far as third base. She's going to show bunt. Now pull it back. Pitch high by Snyder. 1 ball and no strikes. Williams hitting in the number 5 slot for the Port St. John All-Stars. Shows bunt once again. Pulls it back. That pitch was high as well. No balls and 2 strikes. Aaliyah Dunleavy on deck for the Port St. John All-Stars. The 0-2 pitch. Williams shows bunt again. Pulls it back. Pitch pretty much in the same location. Snyder's drifted away from the strike zone. 3 balls and no strikes on Kyla Williams. She'll take this one. And look at ball 4. She'll trot to first base.
Down to first base.
That'll put Port St. John runners on first and second. Nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. Up by a score of 6-1. Quick timeout called by the Rockledge coach. This timeout brought to you by Space Coast Tire.
Timeout in the field.
Space Coast Tire is an automotive repair service located at 1732 South Huntington Lane in Rockledge. Batteries, tires, brakes, oil changes, alignments, and more. The phone number for Space Coast Tire, 321-639-4008. We'd also like to thank Custom Print Screen Printing, located at 1740 South Huntington Lane in Rockledge. They provide textile printing products for family reunions, church gatherings, civic organizations, sports team uniforms, and business shirts. Custom Print's office phone, area code 321-631-3652. That's 321-631-3652. Looks like the meeting at the mound is over, as we're about set to resume play. Port St. John runners on first and second. Nobody out. Bottom of the second inning, up 6-1. Foul ball by inches, I'm telling you. That was about as close as it can get. Good call by the home plate umpire. Obviously, he has the vantage point. No balls, 1 strike on Aaliyah Dunleavy. That was close. Inside, nice stop by Autumn Charvet. That ball was low and inside. We'll even it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nice pitch by Brianna Snyder. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dunleavy. Dunleavy had an RBI single in the first inning. Brianna Snyder set, off-speed pitch. Slow roller to the shortstop. She's going to flip it to third for the force out. Heads up play by the shortstop for the Rockledge All-Stars. That's Emily Skews. So, Aaliyah Dunleavy reaches on a fielder's choice. Tiana Davis is forced at third. Kyla Williams, now your base runner at second. And that'll bring up left fielder number 21, Paris Bowes. Nice pitch by Brianna Snyder. No balls, 1 strike on Bowes. Bowes just looks like she's ready. Aggressive swing by Paris. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Port St. John runners on first and second. They've already scored 3 runs this inning, thanks in part to a in-the-park home run by Haley Butler. Call strike 3. Bowes goes down on strikes. So now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And that'll bring up first baseman number 13, Morgan Thompson. Thompson 0 for 1 tonight. Hits in the number 8 slot, does the first baseman for Port St. John. Pitch by Snyder. Call strike, no balls and 1 strike on number 13. Swing and a miss. Snyder seems to have found the spot after losing it temporarily 3 batters ago. No balls, 2 strikes on Morgan Thompson, 2 outs here in the second. Just misses. Base runners will be moving on contact. Williams at second, Dunleavy at first. Snyder set to throw the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Morgan Thompson goes down on strikes. So for the Port St. John All-Stars in the bottom of the second inning, they come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left. After 2 innings of play tonight, Port St. John 6, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac. We would like to thank DeCandio and Associates Allstate Insurance with 2 locations, one in Port St. John at 950 Fay Boulevard, and the other in Mims at 3239 North Highway US 1. For auto, home, life investments, disability, plus boats, motorcycles, 4-wheelers, or renters insurance, that's Jennifer DeCandio, Agency Principal and Associates, Allstate Insurance. We'd also like to thank Jimmy's Restaurant on US 1. Jimmy Muscola. Saw Jimmy yesterday. Hadn't seen him in quite a while. He's been a little under the weather, fighting some health issues, but he looked good. It's the first time I'd seen him out in quite a bit. His restaurant, Jimmy's on US 1, is still up and running big time. So head on up to Port St. John. I don't know that Jimmy will be there cooking for you, but the food is just as good. He knows how to cook, and he knows how to teach his employees how to cook. Port St. John All-Stars take the field defensively as we get set to move to the top of the third inning. Once again, the winner of tonight's contest will advance to section play 2 weeks from tomorrow. First things first, you're looking for something to do this weekend, July 4th weekend. How about right here in Rockledge? Head on over to McClarty Park at Barton Boulevard for the 30th annual July 4th picnic. You can get a hamburger or a hot dog, chips, and a Coke for only $1. Not a bad deal. We'll have trolley car rides around the recreation center, face painting, Brevard County Parks and Rec. We'll have a lot of games going on. A lot of City of Rockledge volunteers will be working the event. Opening ceremonies at 12:45. A number of dignitaries will be on hand to welcome those that are attending the 4th of July picnic. But the picnic itself starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, goes to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then after that, we head to Riverfront Park in Cocoa for the fireworks display. If you haven't been down there on 4th of July, it is phenomenal. The Brevard Symphony Orchestra plays from about 8:15 to about 8:45, 8:50. They'll take about a 20-minute break, then they'll come back out, and they'll play during the fireworks display, which is set to begin about 9:15. Should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 minutes from what I understand this year. So a long fireworks display. Terrific job by City of Cocoa, City of Rockledge, and Brevard County Parks and Recs. Let's see. I was told we're having a few technical difficulties, but everything looks good on my end. I'll check back at Sports Center to make sure, but hey, you never know with technology exactly what we have. Once again, I'm Steve Wilson with the Friday Night Locker Room. We're heading to the top of the third inning. Frankie Chapman set to step in. First baseman for the Rockledge All-Stars. Here is the pitch. Just a little low. 2 balls, no strikes to Frankie Chapman. So I was told we were having a few issues, but everything looks good on this end. I'll get a report from Sports Center in just a few minutes. Hopefully we'll get the good word that things are up and running for us. Number 17 steps out now. She steps back in. Nice pitch. Nice pitch. According to Sports Center, everything is up and running, so the problem must be at the other end. Port St. John 6, Rockledge 1. We're at the top of inning number 3. That pitch to Chapman just a little high. She'll take a look at ball 4 and trot down to first base. So that'll put a Rockledge All-Star on first with nobody out in the top of the 3rd inning. Down by 5. They need to play station to station, not try to score 5 runs in 1 inning as Brielle Lawrence steps into the box. The speedy Brielle Lawrence looks at the first pitch out of the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Lawrence steps out. Now she steps back in. Kyla Williams still in the circle for the Port St. John All-Stars. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Nice pitch right down the middle, evens it up at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. That pitch high. Brielle Lawrence showed bunt. Showed bunt. Third baseman Tiana Davis charged as fast as she could. That was out of the zone. Nice job by Lawrence. Holding off on that one now. Once again, she shows bunt. Attempting a steal. Throw down. She is safe. Nice throw by the catcher for the Port St. John All-Stars. That's Cambry Haynes. Chapman caught stealing. So the count shows 1 ball and 1 strike on Brielle Lawrence. My bad, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning, 6-1 Port St. John. That one just misses. Full count to the Rockledge right fielder, number 11, Brielle Lawrence. 3-2 pitch from Williams. Call strike 3. Lawrence goes down on strikes. And that'll bring up the center fielder, number 22, Kayla Lloyd. Lloyd 0 for 1 tonight. Hitting from the left side is the center fielder for Rockledge. First pitch way out in front is Kayla Lloyd. No balls and 1 strike. Kyla Williams started in the circle for the Port St. John All-Stars. She is still there. She struck out the first 5 batters she faced in this game. She just struck out batter number 6 in the person of Brielle Lawrence. Nice pitch. One ball, 2 strikes on Lloyd. Pitch by Williams. Call strike 3. Kayla Lloyd goes down on strikes. So for the Rockledge All-Stars in the top of the 3rd inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left. After 2.5 innings of play tonight, Port St. John 6, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac. And speaking of Mr. Urban, we would like to thank Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac, located on the 520 Causeway, Merritt Island. They're an authorized sales and service outlet for new Nissan and Cadillac products, and they carry a line of used cars and trucks. The website, MikeUrbanMotors.com. The telephone, 453-2050. We'd also like to thank Beef O'Brady's, State Road 524 in Cocoa. Sean O'Reilly and the whole gang of Beefs have always been big supporters of local sports, and the tie-in with the Friday Night Locker Room is a natural. The menu includes chicken, steak, and fish taco baskets, and, of course, wings. Thanks to Sean O'Reilly, Timmy O'Reilly, Beef O'Brady's, State Road 524 in Cocoa. We'd also like to thank Knutson Brain, Spine, Injury Law Office. They provide representation for members of the public who have suffered head trauma or a brain or spinal cord injury. Knutson Brain, Spine, Injury Law Office is located in Rockledge at 830 Executive Lane, Suite 140. The phone number for Jim Knutson, 321-632-2722. It's turned into a beautiful evening in Rockledge. We were about 15 minutes late starting for a weather delay. We didn't have any rain here, but we had lightning. Started about 4 o'clock, between 4 and 5, and just carried on over till about 6:30, 6:40. It slowed down enough for the game to get started at about 7:15. We played until right at 7:30, 7:29, so we played about 15 minutes. Then we had to stop it for about a half hour. Another lightning delay. Things have passed and cleared up. You can see lightning way off in the future, in the distance, but we look good at this point. Port St. John currently is looking good. They're on top of Rockledge 6-1. As we're about set to begin the bottom of inning number 3, should be Haley Randall, Cambry Haynes, and Savannah Ogletree. Obviously, coaches make changes at some point. They're not required to come over here and tell us, so it can be confusing sometime. We'll have to let the batters get into the box to make sure they are who we think they are. And as I say that, it looks like Maury Rodriguez will be hitting in the place of Haley Randall in the number 9 slot. So this will be the first at bat for Rodriguez. First pitch to Maury is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Number 11 digging in from the right side. Here's the pitch by Brianna Snyder. That's high. 2 balls and no strikes for Maury Rodriguez. After Rodriguez, Port St. John will get back up to the top of their lineup. Nice pitch by Snyder, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the lineup has done some damage tonight for Port St. John. Port St. John, 3 runs in the first inning, 3 runs in the second inning. Swing and a miss by Maury Rodriguez. Evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Rockledge picked up 1 in the top of the second. Freezes Rodriguez just a little high. Now he's run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'd like to once again say hello to the Malachis. Ground ball, 2-hopper back to the pitcher. Record that one as a 1-3 put out. Nice play defensively by Brianna Snyder of the Rockledge All-Stars. Cadence, we miss you very much. That's to the Malachis. You'd be proud of your Port St. John teammates. They're currently enjoying a 6-1 lead over the Rockledge All-Stars. And now Cambry Haynes will step back into the box. First, she has to tie her shoe. First things first. Cambry Haynes has been on base twice, and she scored both times. Savannah Ogletree on deck. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Just gets a piece of that one. Foul ball straight back. No balls and 1 strike on Cambry Haynes. Haynes wanted to call a quick timeout. She's going to run down to third base, talk to her coach, make sure they're on the same page. Big softball game here at the McKnight Family Sports Complex in Rockledge. The winner of tonight's game will play in section play 2 weeks from tomorrow. The loser season comes to an end. Foul ball straight back. No balls and 2 strikes
2-2.
on Haynes.
Correction. No balls, 2 strikes.
Brianna Snyder still in the circle for the Rockledge All-Stars. Both pitchers have gone all the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Snyder took just a little something off of that pitch. That's the first time they've gotten Cambry Haynes out tonight. So now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder, number 9, Savannah Ogletree.
Savannah Ogletree.
Ogletree 1 for 2 tonight. She scored the 5th Port St. John run in the 2nd inning. Well hit ball foul down the third base side. Way out in front of that one is Savannah Ogletree. No balls and 1 strike on the Port St. John center fielder. Ogletree hitting in the number 2 slot. Brianna Snyder now with the softball. Here is the windup in the pitch. Shows bunt. She fouls it. Foul tip, no balls and 2 strikes on Ogletree. Ogletree has a brief conversation with her coach in the third base box. Takes a practice swing, now steps back into the box, hitting from the right side. Pitch by Snyder, tried to get her to chase a high one. Ogletree showed a lot of patience on that one. 2 strikes, anything close, she has to go after it. She laid off of that one. That one was too close to lay off. She fouled it straight back. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Savannah Ogletree. I love Port St. John's uniforms, very patriotic, red, white, and blue, especially here with the July 4th weekend coming up. Ogletree skips that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good footwork shown by number 9 of Port St. John.
2 balls, 6 strikes, 2 outs.
We had a chance to cover the Port St. John 9 and 10-year-old All-Stars last week. Baseball. Line drive, base hit to left field by Ogletree. She's going to round first. Try to make it to second. Credit Savannah Ogletree with a sliding double. She never slowed down at first base. Well hit ball by Savannah Ogletree. And now that'll put a runner on second with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Bring up Haley Butler, the second baseman. All she's done tonight is had a RBI single in the 1st inning and an inside the park home run, knocking in 2 runs in the 2nd inning. 2 for 2 tonight. First pitch low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Brianna Snyder knows she has to be careful to Haley Butler. She can tag it. She hit the ball hard over the right fielder's head last time.
Inside, ball 2.
Number 1 looking at a 2-ball, no strike count. Brianna Snyder set in the circle, gets the call from Autumn Charvet. Here's the pitch high. Laying off the high fastball is Haley Butler. Snyder being very careful to Butler, and I don't blame her. She's 2 for 2 tonight with 3 RBIs. Hits in the number 3 slot for the Port St. John All-Stars. 3-0 pitch. She looks at ball 4, so for the 3rd time tonight, Haley Butler reaches base.
Now coming to the plate, number 16.
Got to get a couple of softballs from the outside, make sure we have enough to play with. Now stepping into the batter's box, 3rd baseman, number 16, Tiana Davis. Davis has reached base twice tonight. She walked in the 1st inning, eventually scored. She made it all the way to 3rd base in the 2nd inning. Throw down to 3rd base, attempted steal. She is safe. Both runners move up 60 feet. Credit the speed of Savannah Ogletree. I think it caught Charvet a little bit by surprise. Now Port St. John has runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. They're up 6-1.
Strike on that inside corner, 1-1.
Tiana Davis can do some damage here, extend Port St. John's 5-run lead. Pitch by Snyder. Hard hit ball to shortstop. Past the shortstop. 1 run will score. Flip to third base. Trying to score from third. Now in a rundown all the way back to third. She is tagged out. Haley Butler, the runner, rounded third base. I think she thought the ball was missed at third base. Third baseman had the ball in her hand. She got about a third of the way towards home plate and realized she wasn't going to score. She was tagged out. Nice play defensively by Autumn Charvet, the catcher. But the first run, Savannah Ogletree's run, did count. And credit Davis, it was a hard hit ball. We're going to give her a single because the ball was hit so hard. So for the Port St. John All-Stars in the bottom of the third inning, they come up with 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. After 3 complete innings of play tonight, Port St. John 7, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac. Talking about softball tonight, we'd like to switch gears and talk about something that's near and dear to the heart of not only myself, but the Friday Night Locker Room. When I think of softball, a good friend of ours, Julie Spurlock from Merritt Island, softball player. Julie just turned 16. She's had some health issues the last 3 years. She was diagnosed with cancer as a 13-year-old. Beat up on it pretty bad for about 1.5 years, and then she's had a good 6 months or 8 months, and then, bless her heart, she relapsed about a week ago. Diagnosed once again with leukemia. She's been in and out of Arnold Palmer Hospital for a couple of weeks. She's back at the house now, but she's in the middle of chemo, and it's really a tough go. You know, she beat up on it pretty bad. She beat cancer. She is a survivor, but she has a tough road ahead of her as we speak. I had a chance to talk to her mom last night, and it's just tough. She's taking a different type of chemo than she took first go around. But anyway, a GoFundMe account is being created to help the Spurlock family, who, as you can imagine, they're back and forth from Arnold Palmer Hospital. There's so many bills that mount whenever you have to battle a disease like this. But you can go, my name's Steve Wilson. You can go to my Facebook page. You can go to the Friday Night Locker Room. You can type in GoFundMe, the GoFundMe.com, Julie Spurlock, and if you happen to have a few extra bucks, the family can use your help. We would sincerely appreciate it. It's the first time that we have ever created any type of an account like this. We've had fundraisers in the past, but this has come up so sudden, and the need is so dire that we hope you would consider supporting this cause. The community's been fantastic. We've raised some good money for the family. So that's Julie Spurlock. She's in our thoughts and prayers. She's a special young lady. So we're set to move to the top of the 4th inning for the Rockledge All-Stars. It'll be Autumn Charvet, Emily Skews, and Brianna O'Connor. Charvet looks at the first pitch out of the zone, 1 ball and no strikes. And that one's low quickly, 2 balls and no strikes on Charvet. Yeah, Julie Spurlock. Julie tried to play a little softball this year. Merritt Island JV, and then health issues prevented her from really going too far. 3 balls and no strikes on Charvet. Rockledge needs base runners. They don't need doubles, triples, or home runs. They need base runners. They're down by a score of 7-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. This is a regulation 6-inning softball contest. The winner advances to section play. The loser, their tournament season comes to a conclusion. Nice pitch by Kyla Williams. 3 balls and 1 strike on the Rockledge catcher. Charvet made a nice play to end the last half inning, catching Haley Butler as she was trying to get back to third. Ground ball to second base. 4-3 put out. Nice play defensively by the second baseman. That is not Butler. They made a position change. Once again, coaches can make position changes, and they don't have to tell anybody. They don't have to tell the score. They don't have to. So if I can get the number, I can't. That's way too far. In fact, that might be Maury Rodriguez at second. The numbers are on the front. Regardless, it's a 4-3 put out. There's 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss by Emily Skews. That's the one thing that'll drive you crazy. You want to acknowledge the youngsters, the ball players, and you just don't know who's where because the coaches are not required to tell you about position changes. Timeout called by the Rockledge coach in the third base box. He wants to have a quick word with Emily Skews. Brianna O'Connor on deck. Friday night locker room special championship contest. The winner advances. Our schedule at this point, next time you hear our voice and see a ball game will probably be next Saturday. I know there's a section tournament, a couple of section tournaments, different sites. We're in the process of putting our schedule together. Looks like we're going to have a triple header next Saturday starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. It'll be 10, 1, and 4. There are a couple of options. We hope to nail things down this weekend, and we'll let you know exactly where we'll be. But look for our next broadcast to be a week from tomorrow. Skews goes after one low and away. Nothing quite like Little League where there's baseball or softball. The teams will continue to advance. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch coming up. Ground ball back to Williams. Nice job on the one hopper by the Port St. John pitcher. Somebody somewhere will be going to a Little League World Series at all levels except for the 9 and 10-year-olds. And now about set to step into the batter's box for the Rockledge All-Stars, third baseman number 9, Brianna O'Connor. O'Connor 0 for 1 tonight. This is only her second plate appearance. First pitch by Kyla Williams outside, 1 ball and no strikes. O'Connor very deliberate offensively. She steps about 15 feet out of the box, takes a couple of practice swings, now gets back into the box. That pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes. I think she's watched a lot of baseball games on TV. 2 balls, no strikes on Brianna O'Connor. Foul ball down the first base side. O'Connor defensively playing third base for the Rockledge All-Stars. She hits in the number 5 slot.
2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 down.
O'Connor set for the 2-1 pitch. That pitch high.
3-1 the count.
3 balls and 1 strike to Brianna O'Connor. Maya Norris on deck for the Rockledge All-Stars. There are, however, 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. 7-1, Port St. John lead. Swing and a miss. Strike.
Yes, she did. Strike 2 called.
Yes, she did go around. Good call by the home plate umpire. Now that'll run the count full to O'Connor. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kyla Williams with the payoff pitch. Fouls it straight up. Catcher has a shot at it. Nice play defensively by Cambry Haynes. She camps under that one to record the 3rd out here in the top of the 4th inning. So for the Rockledge All-Stars in the top of the 4th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left. After 3.5 innings of play tonight, Port St. John 7, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Urban Nissan Cadillac on the 520 Causeway. We would like to thank Planet Fitness, located in Rockledge Plaza at 1802 U.S. Highway 1 in Rockledge. Planet Fitness has a 23,000 square foot facility with fitness equipment and cardio machines. The phone number, 321-433-1331. Website keyword, planetfitness.com. How about Florida Master Temp in Cocoa? Let me start over. How about Florida Master Temp located in Cocoa? They're at 3475 North Highway US 1, just north of the beach line. They are an authorized sales and service outlet for air conditioning systems, refrigeration equipment, ice making equipment, and machines. The office phone is answered 24 hours a day. The telephone 321-639-3166. If you know where Al's Trophy Shop is, you know where Florida Master Temp is. Florida Master Temp's about 3 doors down from Al's Trophy Shop, just north of the beach line on the west side of US 1. Port St. John in control up to this point. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the second and 1 in the bottom of the third. So Port St. John has scored in each inning tonight they've played. We're close to moving to the bottom of inning number 4. Good crowd on hand tonight. Port St. John has brought a crowd, as has Rockledge. You would expect the home team to bring some folks, but Port St. John really brought them down. It's not a long drive from Port St. John. Maybe, let's see, 20 minutes maybe. Hop on 95, off of 520. You can get there in 20 minutes from here. So it's not a long drive, but a good crowd considering the weather was not too promising late afternoon. Should be Kyla Williams, Aaliyah Dunleavy, and Paris Bowes, unless there have been some changes. We've already seen Maury Rodriguez enter the game. Hitting in the number 9 slot, we have yet to see Emma Suspanic. Tonight, Suspanic wearing number 18. Hello once again to the Malachis. Cadence, we miss you and wish you were here. We hope you're able to watch the game tonight. Your Port St. John squad on top of Rockledge 7-1. Kyla Williams steps into the box. Pulls the bat back, 1 ball and no strikes. Williams 1 for 1 tonight. She's reached base both times. She had a base hit in the first inning and walked in the second inning. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back. That one's out of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes on Kyla Williams. Brianna Snyder still in the circle for Rockledge. A ball foul down the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Aaliyah Dunleavy on deck for the Port St. John All-Stars. Williams steps out, steps back in. Home plate umpire says play ball. Pop up to the third baseman. Nice catch by the third baseman for the Rockledge All-Stars. That is Brianna O'Connor. She had to go back 2 or 3 steps, camped under the softball. So there's 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll bring up the shortstop, number 99, Aaliyah Dunleavy. First pitch inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Dunleavy 1 for 2 tonight. She had an RBI single in the first inning. She reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. So Dunleavy has reached base both times tonight. 2 balls, no strikes on Davis. Aaliyah Davis hits in the number 6 slot for the Port St. John All-Stars. 2-hopper, then a dribbler back to the pitcher. Nice play by the pitcher, Brianna Snyder. So there's 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Number 21, Paris Bowes coming to the plate.
Let's see if that is, in fact, Paris Bowes. She's scheduled to hit, and I'm going to say yes, that is her. Wearing number 21, left fielder Paris Bowes. Bowes was hit by a pitch in the first inning, went as far as second base. She struck out in the second inning. 1 ball and no strikes on Paris Bowes. swing and a miss. I tell you, Bose just looks like she's ready to hit. She grabs that back and bat, and she goes back just a little bit. She just looks like she wants to clobber the softball. I love her batting stance. Hard swing by Bose, misses that one.
Strike 2, foul.
She just got a piece of that one. Tipped it straight back. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Paris Bose. Brianna Snyder's pitch hits Paris Bose, so she will reach base for the second time tonight. Second time she's been hit by a pitch as well.
Number 18.
So now for the first time tonight, we're going to see number 18, Emma Suspanic. We were talking about her just a few minutes ago. She's going to bat in the place of Morgan Thompson. Suspanic wearing number 18.
2 down, runner on first base.
Ground ball to second baseman. Fielded cleanly, 4-3 put out. Nice play defensively by the Rockledge second baseman, Maya Norris. So for the Port St. John All-Stars, in the bottom of the fourth inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left after 4 complete innings of play tonight. Port St. John 7, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Microman Nissan Cadillac on the 520 Causeway. Once again, it's July 4th picnic in Rockledge, put together by the city of Rockledge. A lot of individuals worked hard on this one. Jennifer Hall, Lisa Nicholas, Thomas Reed, City Manager Jim McKnight. I can go down the list. Many, many people have worked hard to put together the July 4th picnic. Those folks know how to do things right. Police Department, Jennifer works out of the Rockledge Police Department, involved in National Night Out, multiple events throughout the course of the year. Lisa Nicholas works with the CRA. She's involved just about anything that happens in the city of Rockledge from an event standpoint. Lisa is involved to some degree. She's also a partner here with the Friday Night Locker Room. She has the night off, as does our partner in crime, Orville Susong. So everybody's goofing off tonight except myself. I guess somebody's got to clock in and do the work, but good job by Lisa on city events. Nice job by Orville Susong when he's here, and I hope he heard that comment. But a lot of fun tonight. This is a big one. This is going to advance one team to section play. The Port St. John All-Stars currently enjoying a 7-1 lead over the Rockledge All-Stars. This one's not done yet. We're only 2/3 of the way through. This is a regulation 6-inning game. Oh, I messed up. It's not Jennifer Hall anymore. Jennifer Lavasser. I forgot. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. She got married, about 5 years ago, so I guess I'm a little slow in recalling. But Jennifer Lavasser out of the Rockledge Police Department has done a nice job helping to coordinate the picnic that'll be at McClarty Park in Rockledge off of Barton Boulevard from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Monday. Hamburger or a hot dog, chips, Coke for only $1. Brevard County Parks and Rec, they'll be putting on games all day long, face painting, little bubble games. And I'm not sure what a bubble game is. It's like a kiddie swimming pool, and they get these giant bubbles, and it's hard to describe, as you can hear. But head on over to the park, McClarty Park, on Monday at 10 o'clock. It's from 10 to 4 all day long. And then after that, let's all head on to Riverfront Park in Cocoa for the fireworks display. That'll start about 9:15. Brevard Symphony Orchestra starts playing at 8. Fireworks at 9:15. A lot of excitement. Independence Day weekend, July 4th, as we're set to move to the top of inning number 4. For the Rockledge All-Stars, it will be Maya Norris, Brianna Snyder, and Jada Lawrence. Rockledge down 7-1. They don't need 6 runs this inning, but I know they'd like to pick up a run or two. Bunt down the third base. Strong throw by third baseman Tiana Davis. records the out at first.
One down.
What looked like a possible
Snyder.
bunt base hit by Norris was snuffed out by third baseman Tiana Davis. Once she got to the ball, showed a strong arm, so that's a 5-3 put out. That'll bring up the pitcher, number 45, Brianna Snyder. First pitch just a little high, 1 ball and no strikes on the Rockledge pitcher. Pitcher versus pitcher, both of them have gone all the way so far. Kyla Williams started in the circle for Port St. John and is still out there. Brianna Snyder started in the circle for the Rockledge All-Stars, and she's still there. Jada Lawrence on deck for Rockledge. Snyder steps back in. Pitch by Williams. Nice pitch. That was perfect. I mean, that was right down the middle. Took just a little something off of it, but still had a little bit of speed to it. Snyder takes 2 or 3 glances down to the third base box. Now she steps back in. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Swings late in foul territory. Good effort by the first baseman for the Port St. John All-Stars. That's Haley Butler. She started the game at second base. She's now shifted over to first base. Ball falls harmlessly to the ground. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Snyder. Here's the 2-2 pitch by Williams. Let up on that one just a little bit. Did not find the zone. Now the count's run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. High, ball 4. Brianna Snyder will take a walk to first base. And that's what Rockledge needs. They just need to play it one batter at a time, one station at a time. They're down 7-1. They're facing a really good pitcher in Kyla Williams, who's thrown the ball extremely well. They just need to focus on every pitch, try to put the ball in play, make your opponent put you out. Easier said than done. I understand that. This will be our first look at Madison Bittinger tonight. Bittinger hitting in the place of Jada Lawrence. Number 8, hitting in the number 8 slot for Rockledge. Here's the pitch by Williams. That pitch is low. Gets about 3 or 4 feet away, far enough for Snyder to advance to second base. So that'll put a Rockledge runner on second with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Rockledge down by 6, 7-1. Cambry Haynes gives the sign. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Nice job by Williams going to first, ignoring the runner, allowing the runner to go to third. Go ahead and take the out. You're in the 5th inning. Smart play by Kyla Williams, the pitcher for the Port St. John All-Stars. That should bring up the first baseman, number 17, Frankie Chapman.
2 down, runner on third.
And it will bring up Chapman. She'll hit from the right side. She's going to show bunt, pull it back. Call strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Brianna Snyder, your runner on third for the Rockledge All-Stars. They're down by 6. They'd love to get that run home. They need at least 1, or love to have a couple of runs here. Runs have been hard to come by off of Kyla Williams. She has only allowed 2 hits tonight. We are 2 outs into the 5th inning. Now Chapman's down 1 ball and 2 strikes. Williams 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Cambry Haynes, catcher for the Port St. John All-Stars, gives the sign. Here's the pitch by Williams, off-speed pitch, ground ball to third base. She's going to go home and put the tag on the runner to end the inning. Instead of going for the force at first, she decided to go the shortest route. Snyder broke immediately for home. Nice tag by Cambry Haynes. So Chapman actually reaches, I guess you could say she reached by a fielder's choice. Snyder's thrown out at home. So for the Rockledge All-Stars, in the top of the 5th inning, they come up with no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left after 4.5 innings of play tonight. Port St. John 7, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Erdman Nissan Cadillac on the 520 Causeway. We'd like to thank DeCandio and Associates Allstate Insurance. They have 2 locations, one in Port St. John at 950 Fay Boulevard and the other in Mims at 3239 North Highway US 1. For auto, home, life investments, disability, plus boats, motorcycles, 4-wheelers, or renters insurance. Jennifer DeCandio, Agency Principal and Associates, Allstate Insurance. And how about Space Coast Tire? Space Coast Tire is an automotive repair service located at 1732 South Huntington Lane in Rockledge. For batteries, tires, brakes, oil changes, alignments, and more. The phone number for Space Coast Tire, 321-639-4008. We'd also like to thank Al's Trophy Shop, 2 Brevard County locations, one on Palm Bay Road in Palm Bay, and the other in Cocoa on US 1 just north of the beach line. Al's Trophy Shop creates custom plaques and trophies. Al's Trophy Shop is reached by phone at 321-636-6188. Once again, I'm Steve Wilson of the Friday Night Locker Room, coming to you live from the McKnight Family Sports Complex in Rockledge. It's the Port St. John All-Stars versus the Rockledge All-Stars. Major division. The winner advances to section play 2 weeks from tomorrow. The loser, unfortunately, their tournament season comes to a conclusion. It's hard to believe we're just about a month and a half away from the start of high school football. Well, we're actually about a month away from our first of 2 coaches shows. We'll bring in high school football coaches from around the county at Beef O'Brady's over consecutive Friday nights. Talk a little high school football the first and second Fridays of August. Third Friday in August, we'll talk about the kickoff classic games a week away, and then it'll be time to tee it up. This will be the 18th year of the Friday Night Locker Room, started 18 years ago by Keith Lippert. I think Orville Susong and myself came along about a year or 2 later, but we lost Keith in 2007. Orville and I have kept it going. Alan Zlatarzinski has been a big part of what we've done the last couple of years, as has Anthony Knockreiner. We've had a number of folks with us over the years. Orville and I haven't been run off yet, but there's nothing quite like bringing high school sports and youth sports over the airwaves to Brevard County and beyond. Used to be over the airwaves only. Now you're watching SpaceCoastDaily.com. You're listening and watching the broadcast. Swing and a miss by number 11, Maury Rodriguez. No balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez entered the game the last inning. She grounded back to the pitcher on her first swing. So number 11 hitting in the number 9 slot. Here is the pitch, just a little outside. But there's nothing like youth sports. At any level, we broadcast 9- and 10-year-old baseball last week, and then we go up to high school sports, which are, 17, 18-year-olds. We've done some college things and a few professional events, but for us, it's all about high school and youth sports. That's what we enjoy more than anything. Pitched by Snyder. Call strike 3. Rodriguez goes down on strikes. So that'll get the Port St. John All-Stars back up to the top of their lineup. And bring up number 15, Cambry Haynes. Haynes has been on base a couple of times, scored 2 runs. Hits the ball hard. She's a solid leadoff batter, and that's solid to say the least. She's better than that. Line drive past the pitcher. Glove. She's not going to get the speedy Haynes credit. Cambry Haynes with another base hit. That was a hard hit ball. Nice effort by the pitcher, Brianna Snyder, to her right, unable to field it. Clean single by Cambry Haynes. And that'll bring up the Port St. John center fielder, number 9, Savannah Ogletree. Ogletree 2 for 3 tonight, singled, scored a run, had a double and scored a run. Very successful night tonight for Ogletree offensively. First pitch high, breaking for second base, throw down, she is safe. Slides under the tag, does Cambry Haynes. So now Port St. John with a runner on second. Doesn't get any easier after Ogletree. Haley Butler on deck. She's 2 for 2 tonight with a walk. She swings through that one. Steps out of the box just to catch her breath just for a minute now. Savannah Ogletree back into the box. Pitch by Snyder. Nice pitch. Moving over to third base after the ball gets past the catcher is Cambry Haynes. Port St. John 7, Rockledge 1.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down with a runner on third.
One out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cambry Haynes on third base. Ogletree has to protect with 2 strikes. Skips through that one. Ball gets past the catcher. Umpire's going to call a dead ball. That actually hit Savannah Ogletree. Kind of a tough break for Port St. John. Haynes was going to score easily from third base. The ball moving back towards our vantage point, which is to the left side of home plate. But now Port St. John with runners on the corners and 1 out. And that'll bring up first baseman, number 1, Haley Butler. Rockledge has not found an answer for Haley Butler. As of yet, first pitch high. Not going to throw down as Ogletree takes second. Now with an open base, you have to be careful. It's a 7-1 ball game. Runners on second and third. Haley Butler hitting in the number 3rd slot can absolutely crush a softball. Here's the pitch. That's high as well.
2 balls.
Once again, Snyder knows she has to be careful to Haynes. She walked her last time up. Haynes had an inside the park home run over the head of the right fielder in the 2nd inning. 0-2 pitch by Brianna Snyder. Call strike, 1 ball and 2 strike. Excuse me, 2 balls and 1 strike. Butler steps out. Now she steps back into the box. We'll be looking at a 2-1 pitch from Snyder. Bad pitch low in the dirt. Attempting to steal home is safe. Bad throw gets past the pitcher covering home. Scoring all the way from second is Ogletree. Port St. John picked up a pair of runs. Now they're looking at a 9-1 lead over Rockledge. Wild pitch got past the catcher. Scoring easily was Cambry Haynes in the return throw. Trying to get Haynes. Got past the pitcher covering home plate. Ogletree kept running. That ball fouled out of play. Hambry scores the 8th run of the night for Port St. John. Ogletree scores the 9th run. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Haley Butler steps back in. 3 ball, 2 strike pitch coming from Snyder. Foul ball down the first base side towards the first base dugout. Frankie Chapman's going to run over in foul territory, pick it up and throw it back to her teammate in the circle, Brianna Snyder. Butler back in. She is ready to hit. Here's the payoff pitch. Hard hit ball towards the shortstop. Nice play picked up, thrown across the diamond, safe. Once again, the speed of Butler. Good call by the umpire at first base. There really wasn't anything Emily Skews could have done better. She fielded it cleanly, made a nice throw, put a little something on it, but it was hit deep. And Haley Butler runs well, so now Port St. John with a runner on first.
Now at the plate, number 16.
That'll bring up
Tiana Davis.
Tiana Davis. That was the third base hit of the night for Butler.
Foul back.
That ball foul straight back. No balls and one strike on Tiana Davis. Davis has reached every time tonight. She walked in the first and scored. Ball low, snap throw to second base safely. Not sliding, but standing up is Haley Butler. Probably want to slide next time. It looked like she almost could have turned an ankle by a little indecision as to whether to slide or not slide. So regardless, Butler standing on second. Davis waiting for the pitch.
Outside. 1.
2 balls, 1 strike to the Port St. John third baseman. 9-1 Port St. John lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch by Snyder. Low gets away from Charvet. Butler easily advances to third base. Still only 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Davis back into the batter's box. That pitch high, ball 4.
First and third.
Now Port St. John with runners on the corners. She's decided to take second. She's safe. Butler's going to score. Now all of a sudden the winning run is on third base. Butler crosses home plate for the 10th run.
Tiana Davis all the way around to third.
Once again, if one team gets up by 10,
Tyler Williams.
after 4 innings, the game is over. It's 10-1. Potential winning run on third base in the person of Tiana Davis. Kyla Williams. Line drive back to the pitcher. Nice play by Brianna Snyder
Second out.
to grab that one and look Davis back to third.
Number 99.
And that'll bring up the shortstop for the Port St. John All-Stars, wearing number 99, Aaliyah Dunleavy.
Foul out of play.
That ball foul straight back. Once again, Port St. John 60 feet away from winning this softball game. They're up 10-1. Aaliyah Davis, a base hit, will win it with Tiana Davis. Say Aaliyah Dunleavy. Ground ball to the pitcher. That's history. 1-3 put out, so we'll forget all about the winning the game in this inning. Brianna Snyder wanted no part of that. Consecutive 1-3 putouts by the Rockledge defense will bring the Port St. John All-Stars out to the field defensively in the top of the 6th inning. So for Port St. John, in the bottom of the 5th inning, they come up with 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. After 5 complete innings of play tonight, Port St. John 10, Rockledge 1. You're listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Erdman Nissan Cadillac on the 520 Causeway. As we move to the top of inning number 6, we'd like to thank our title sponsor, Mike Erdman Nissan Cadillac. On the 520 Causeway, they're an authorized sales and service outlet for new Nissan and Cadillac products, and they carry a line of used cars and trucks. The website, MikeUrdmanMotors.com. The telephone, area code 321-453-2050. How about Beef O'Brady's, State Road 524 in Cocoa? Sean O'Reilly, Timmy O'Reilly, the whole gang at Beefs have always been big supporters of local sports, and the tie-in with the Friday Night Locker Room is a natural. The menu includes chicken, steak, and fish, taco baskets, and, of course, wings. Thanks to Sean O'Reilly, Timmy O'Reilly, Beef O'Brady's, State Road 524 in Cocoa. Planet Fitness. located in Rockledge Plaza at 1802 U.S. Highway 1 in Rockledge. Planet Fitness has a 23,000 square foot facility with fitness equipment and cardio machines. The newly renovated Planet Fitness, if you haven't been in there a while, you will not recognize it. It's right on US 1. Looks like a brand new facility. Mike Walker and company shut things down about 2 months ago for about 10 days. And I'm telling you, it looks like a brand new facility, an incredible amount of cardio machines, weightlifting equipment, you name it, they have it at Planet Fitness. Telephone number is 321-433-1331. Website keyword, planetfitness.com. Port St. John All-Stars are set defensively. As we move to the top of inning number 6, Port St. John currently enjoys a 10-1 lead over the Rockledge All-Stars. Winner of tonight's contest will play in section tournament play 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Now coming to the plate, number 11, Brielle Lawrence.
As Rockledge starts off at the top of their lineup, Brielle Lawrence hitting from the right side, shows bunt, goes after it, misses it, no balls, and 1 strike on the Rockledge right fielder, Brielle Lawrence. Kayla Lloyd on deck for Rockledge, Autumn Charvet in the hole. Lawrence looking at a 1-1 pitch coming up from Kyla Williams. Williams has been in the circle the whole game tonight.
Outside low.
That pitch misses, 2 balls and 1 strike. Lawrence steps back in. She's ready. Good swing by number 11. Nice pitch by Kyla Williams. 2 strikes on Lawrence. 2 balls, 2 strikes on number 11. Lawrence steps back into the box. Kyla Williams gets the sign, off-speed pitch with a little something on it right in the zone. Lawrence goes down on strikes. Now Rockledge down to their last 2 outs in this softball game, and that'll bring up center fielder number 22, Kayla Lloyd. The left-handed hitting Lloyd 0 for 2 tonight. Pitch by Williams is high. Once again, Kyla Williams has been in complete control tonight. She's only allowed 2 base hits, 1 to Maya Norris and 1 to Jada Lawrence. Swing and a miss, evens up the count at 1-1 to the Rockledge center fielder. Lloyd set in the box. Here's the pitch by Williams. That's high. 2-1 catcher Cambry Haynes gives the target. 3 balls and 1 strike on Kayla Lloyd. Autumn Charvet on deck for the Rockledge All-Stars. Swing and a miss. Swinging at one out of the zone, but it was coming in so slow that Lloyd thought she could tag it. She did not. So now the count's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kayla Lloyd. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Lloyd goes down on strikes. So Rockledge now down to their last out of this ball game. That's the 9th strikeout of the evening for pitcher Kyla Williams. She's only walked 2 batters. Pretty good ratio, 9 strikeouts and 2 batters. Pretty impressive. And that'll bring up the catcher, number 25, Autumn Charvet. Pop up over the head of the first baseman, right fielder chasing it, foul ball. Foul by about 4 to 5 feet. A long, noisy out. Good swing by Autumn Charvet. Just a little foul. Emily Skews on deck. She's hoping she's going to hit. Rockledge down to their last out. They're down 10-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Port St. John, the home team, is ahead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Now the Rockledge All-Stars down to their last strike. Cambry Haynes gives the sign. Kyla Williams is set. 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Charvet goes down, and the Port St. John All-Stars have defeated the Rockledge All-Stars by a score of 10-1. Well played game by both teams. Port St. John will advance to section play 2 weeks from tomorrow. The Rockledge All-Stars, unfortunately, their All-Star season has come to an end, but a well-played game by both teams. We'll go over a few numbers for you before we go off the air tonight. Pitcher Kyla Williams ended up striking out 10 batters, walked only 2. She allowed 2 base hits over the course of 6 innings. She allowed a single to Maya Norris, who eventually scored, and a base hit to Jada Lawrence in the 2nd inning. 2 base hits in the 2nd inning, and that was it for the Rockledge offense. For the Port St. John offense, a lot of runners reached base. Look at the top of the lineup. Cambry Haynes got on 3 times, a couple of base hits. She scored 3 times. Savannah Ogletree got on base 3 times. She was 2 for 3, was hit by a pitch once. Haley Butler, big night for Haley Butler. 3 for 3. She walked once. She had an inside the park home run. She had 3 RBIs. That's number 1, Haley Butler. Big night for Butler. Cleanup hitter Tiana Davis got on base all 4 times. Kyla Williams, not only did she excel in the circle, she got a base hit, got on base a couple of times. You can go down the lineup. Paris Bowes got on base twice the hard way. She was hit by a pitch 2 separate times. Rodriguez played, Hispanic. It was a complete team effort by the Port St. John All-Stars. Congratulations to those young ladies. They defeat Rockledge by a score of 10-1. They will play 2 weeks from tomorrow, sectional play, represent District 22. We'd like to say hello once again to the Malachis. I hope they're listening. And Cadence, your Port St. John teammates missed you. They told me that before the game. But we hope you enjoyed the live streaming on SpaceCoastDaily.com. We'd like to thank the Rockledge Little League for everything they've done for us the last few nights. They've had the tent put up for us when we got here. Just a lot of support on that end. We'd like to thank Joe LeBlanc, the district administrator, all the folks here in Rockledge. So we're going to shut things down as it starts to rain just a little bit. For Tom Palermo, Giles Malone, Zach Clark, Allison Malone of Space Coast Daily, for Orville Susong, who we don't have a clue where he is, for Lisa Nicholas. She put in for the night off, so I wasn't expecting her. Orville, I don't have a clue where he is. Alan put in for the night off just like he was supposed to. But we'd like to thank everybody for listening and watching tonight's ball game between Port St. John and Rockledge. You've been listening to the Friday Night Locker Room, sponsored by Mike Irvin Nissan Cadillac. Enjoy the weekend.